Welcome everybody, 29 Palms by the wonderful Robert Plant off his 1993, God, 21 years ago, Fate of Nations, which really is a great CD. With my Gretsch, I was getting back into rockabilly, and you know how guitar could take you places. I was checking out Something to Do by the Honey Drippers, and then this song came up in my feed, and you know, you forget about certain songs, and this was a have to do. So we are in standard tuning. I've written this out for you. It's his 93 Montreux Jazz Festival. This is where I got most of watching this lead, the guitar work. And the other thing is Spedding did a video on this. And he didn't name the song. He was kind of like, guess what this is? And how the hell I found it, I don't know. But I stumbled on it, and watching again the band live, this is it. So I'll put a link to his lesson also. But I've written it out for you, and we'll go over it. This opening lick, I think, is very inventive. It's based on an E minor and an A sus2. Okay, so A sus2, we're just keeping the third string, the B note, open. So the intro lick with this E minor, think of it as just using the 5th, 4th, and then going to the third string. When we do, on the third time through, reference the A minor, or A sus2. All right, so what we're doing, open 5th string to the 2nd fret, then we're going to hit the 2nd fret of the 4th string back to the 2nd fret of the 5th. Then open 4th, hammer into 2, and then hit 2 again. Now when you hit that 2nd 2, if you catch the 5th string on the 2nd fret, that sounds fine too. We'll do that again. Let's do the first half of it. So we're hitting in from the 5th string, hammering into 2, going to the 4th string at 2, back to the 5th string at 2. Then we come into our A sus2. All right, you don't know the difference that you've changed chords because this 4th string is what we would be hitting anyhow. The only difference is we come to the 3rd string at 2. Okay, so that 3rd time through, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're back to the E minor. All right, that lick is consistent throughout the song. Okay, so that intro lick becomes the verse riff, okay? We'll play that through 3 times, or a measure. Verse 1, that's the intro. Then verse 1, a measure of it. Then you're going to hear 3 E minor strums. It's just a down, up, down. And then we go back into another measure of it. Then what he does is, it's really a bridge. He says, ah, okay, and it's a C chord with the G in the bass. We're not, normally when we play our cowboy C, we omit the G, but the G is part of a C chord, so they add it here. And this is when they add the G. They'll play another C, but it's a C add 9th, and I'll talk about that later. But what you're going to hear is a da-da-da, or it sounds like a da-da-da. Again, I think there's an overdubbed acoustic that might do that. But watching them live, the 12 string is doing this. So that, it's 4 times with the G over C. All right. Again, live, I saw the electric doing this, while the acoustic 12 string was up strumming. So it's one of those things, you know, play with how it feels to you. All right, so after we get through that first break, we are back into a measure of that riff, all right? And when we start this again, it's kind of the finishing measure of verse 1. There's another guitar that comes in, and I will go over that when we get the electric guitar out. And it's just really playing some notes. So we'll go through that again to the A, and then the E. Now when we do the at the very last he'll go to a G. So it's more of a down, down, up, down, just a simple strumming. This is the pre-chorus. It comes kind of hard. When he says hard, we go to D. So G to D. Back to our G. Then there's a C add ninth. So normally C add ninth, you take your 6th and 5th string and move it down to 5th and 4th. Right? This case, we want to take our pinky off. Let that E ring. I hear that E ringing in this, okay? So we're going from G to C add ninth with that first finger off. It's still an add ninth, but it definitely has that ring to it. Again, just listen to the song. You'll hear the difference. All right, so G, as we finish the O's, to D, hard. Hear your voice on the radio. Now we go back to G to D, taking me down the road. Leads back to E minor, U, and then our G over C. That takes us into the chorus. The chorus follows that exact same pre-chorus. G, 29 palms, G to C add ninth, G to D, E minor to C over G. Then we're into verse 2. Again, verse 2, just like verse 1. We'll go through a measure of that after our 3rd E minor. Another 3 strums on E minor. We go through another measure of that riff. And then we're into the with our C over G, or G over C, I'm sorry. And then we, at the end of the we start our pre-chorus again. Comes kind of hard. All right, then we start the chorus. After this second chorus, we go into a little bit different rhythm for the solo. So like I said, after chorus 2, we are into the solo rhythm. The solo rhythm is G to C add ninth. So a little different there. We go to C add ninth instead of D. All right. Second time, we'll do G to D. Third time, another G to C add ninth. Then we go to our E minor, and then the C over, or G over C, I'm sorry. Okay, so it should sound like this. At that point, after the first solo, we go into the pre-chorus, and he'll say, baby, now it's ah. That ah is where our G comes in. So pre-chorus, G to D, G to C add 9. Chorus 3, 29 palms. After chorus 3, we go through that one measure. We reprise the solo. The solo is played exactly the same, and then we're into the outro. Okay, the outro. Just think of the outro as doing the pre-chorus and chorus, the same chords. Fades out pretty quickly after the second time through. So I'm going to get the electric guitar out. I'll show you the other pieces to it. Beautiful, beautiful song. This is one I've never gotten tired of playing. So watching these guys live, when the electric guitar comes in during the second half of verse 1, they're playing it both ways, because again, there's two electric guitars. One is playing this E minor here to an A sus, and the other guitar is doing single notes based off of this A minor and this A. Alright, so I've written them both out. I'm going to show you this one at the first area position. So what we're doing there is basically based around, like I said, this E minor, and we're going to play the 4th fret of the 3rd string to the 2nd string at 5, back to 3, back to 5, then we come down to the 1st string at 3, 3, 5, 3 on the 2nd string. So this. Repeat. So that will go around 2 more times, total of 4. That's one measure. Then the second measure, so then we come to the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and then 3, 5, 3 on the 2nd. And then we come down to the 1st string at 5. We don't move to the 3rd fret like we did here. We go like, alright, so, and then back to 5, 3, 5 on the 2nd. So this will repeat. One more time, I'll just show it to you, the 2 repeats. Then we're back to 2 times with the E. You can add the G, but again, this is what one guitar is doing, and it's just a way of playing the notes individually versus the other guitar, which I'm putting as the alternative, playing an E minor, right, then switching to an A. So for the alternative way of doing it, we got E minor shape, and then we move to a fourth root A shape, okay? So what we're doing, we're going to ignore the E to start. We're going to just use the fourth through the second string. So we start on the fourth string 9, then we go to third string 9, 7, 9. All right, so we'll be lifting off on that pinky. Then we hit the 8th fret of the second string, and then back to our 9, 7, 9 on the third string. Then we move to this A shape, basically a fourth root. So we'll be on the fourth string at 7 to 9 on the third string and 10 on the first, and we'll be lifting off on that third string back to 7. And we're back to the E minor shape. Okay, the solo, again, watching these guys live, you can tell they play this up here in the upper register. Okay, the solos sound like this. What we're doing is we're going to pull off from 7 on the first string to 5 to 3. So we got to stretch a bit. Then we're coming back to 7 on the second string and 3 on the first. Then just come right back up to 3 on the second to open. Then we move our position to 1 and hit the first fret on the second string to open, back to first fret, open. All right. And then once we do this third time, we're going to pull off to open. All right, let that ring slightly. So we have this so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we start again, but we're going to do a short little, like, real quick catch of the G string, and then begin that lick again. Once we get to the open second string, we're not going to come to that first position. We're going to actually grab the third string at 2. So we'll have this. So the quick G, use your second finger. That gets you in position to a partial D, just on the second fret of the third string and third fret of the second string, because we're going to hit that, hammer in to that third string at the 4th fret. Then we're going to hit with that 4th fret off on the 3 on the second string and 2 on the first, with an up and down stroke. Then take your first finger off and hit the open third and third fret of the 3 with an up down. All right, so we have this for that quick G and then the rest. Okay, from that point, we're going to basically repeat the first lick, but just shy of an open string. All right, so we'll come back. Then we'll hit open to 1 again. But then instead of another open, we're going to hit 1 pulled off to open. So a little early pull off. So we have this. 1, 2, 3, 4. That leads us to an open G, third string, and then second fret of the 4th string. Slight pause and then 2 more hits. Then come down to the second string, first fret, 2 hits, and then open. Open third, and then third fret of the 5th string. That third fret of the 5th string will hit it, a little pause again, and then 2 more hits. And that leads us to the second string again, but this time open for 2 hits to the second fret of the 3rd string, and quickly to the 4th string at the 3rd fret slid to 5. Alright, so that second measure slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the solo. Again, my notes will definitely help, and thank you, Spad. I mentioned I was going to for sure give him credit for this. I didn't hear back, but God bless you for everything you do. It helps me and it helps everybody else. So hope you guys enjoy.